Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Holmes and Miss Atfill. Tonight's flip video lessons are about strategies for rounding the bigger numbers on a number line. So this is going to be our title, Strategies for Rounding.
Put that on your table of contents and also write it at the top of your next blank page in your notebook.
Okay, this is looking familiar. We've worked on this for the last couple of days, and we just simply are going to go through and talk about how to fill out the boundary numbers and our midpoints. So you know we are starting with the multiples in the hundreds, so we're at 300. So our next boundary number would be
400, because that's 100 more.
And then you can see we're simply just counting or skip counting
By 100.
So we have 300, 400.
500, and 600. And then, of course, we have 700 on the end.
So when we go to midpoints, our midpoint is the number that is exactly in between both of those multiples. So we have the midpoint of 350. And then we go down to 400 and back up, and our midpoint exactly in the middle between 400 and 500 would be
450, because it's 100 to get from 400 to 500, and half of 100 is 50.
So if the pattern continues, if this is 350 and this is 450, this must be
550.
And then to close it off, we have
650.
So we just wanted to go over and practice what our boundary numbers are. Our boundary numbers are those friendly numbers, those compatible numbers that end in zeros. So when we fill out our boundary numbers and our midpoints, that's what's going to help us as to which way it rounds.
Okay, so here we have a problem that you might see in the near future, perhaps on a practice or a test. So we wanted to go over this with you. The question says, what number does not
So we're going to go ahead and
Yes.
circle this because we are looking for the wrong answer.
So what number does not round to 70? So 3 of them are going to round to 70 and 1 of them is not. So that's the one we're looking for. So you basically need to test each one and write what number each one rounds to, and the answer should jump out at you.
So let's start with A. We know 64. Well, if I go up to my 60, it's in between my 60 and 70. And then I have 65. Well, we know 64 is smaller than our 65, so it's going to be somewhere on this side, which means it's going to round
Down to 60.
So we come back to our choices and we put 60 right beside it.
Is that showing your work or your strategies?
That is a strategy that tells me that you know where it rounds to.
Okay, so we should see that on their paper as well.
That is a perfect strategy.
Okay. All right, so B is 65. Our answer is 65. If we look back on our hill or our rounding roller coaster, 65 is exactly the midpoint between 60 and 70. And we have talked about if it is a midpoint, it is going to round to the higher 10 or 100, in this case 10,
So that means it's going to go down
to 70.
70. And then we just show it rounds to 70.
Okay.
So then the same for C. So we have 71. We find our two boundaries. It fits between 70 and 80. We use our midpoint to help us. We know 71 is smaller than 75, so it's going to go on this side and slide down to
70.
So we just simply write the rounded number. And then the same for 74. Let's go back up. It's between what two boundary numbers?
70 and 80.
We go to our midpoint, which is 75.
Ooh, it's 1 less than 75, so it's still going to go on the left side and round down to 70.
So now that we have our rounded numbers, our compatible numbers, our friendly numbers, or our benchmark numbers, they're all called different things here, which one does not show 70, Miss Atfill?
Well, A does. So I have a question.
Okay.
If I had already shown my work for A and saw that it was 60 and it does not round to 70, should I have stopped there, or should I have shown my strategies for the other 3 as well?
Well, I know we're tempted to stop at A, but sometimes we make mistakes. So if we go ahead and finish all of those, we're more likely to catch a mistake if we made one.
Perfect. Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and circle our answer now that we have proven all of those round to 70.
Okay.
Another quick one, guys, that you might see, it'll ask you which group of numbers are closer to 30 than 20 on a number line. We're still using our boundaries and our midpoint to help us decide that. So we want to know which one is closer to 30. So I'm going to circle to 30 than 20. So which one do we want, Miss Atfill? The 30 or the 20?
We want the 30.
So we circle this one to remind us the 30.
Okay.
So let's start at A, go to our midpoint 24. It's coming here, it's gonna fall. So right here, this rounds to
20. Uh-oh, can we eliminate that already?
We can eliminate it because we want the one closer to 30. And this 24 is not rounding to 30.
So that's called the process of elimination. Please use it. It will help you increase your chances of getting the answer correct.
And it is a strategy.
Yes, it is.
So now let's start at 21. Let's go back up. We know it's between, oh, and that's really close to 20. So that's gonna round.
To 20.
So I'll put my 20 here, which means,
We can eliminate it right off the bat.
and then we go to, let's start with C, 26. So Miss Athel, tell me what I'm gonna do.
You're going to find the two boundary numbers that 26 falls between, find the midpoint, which is 25, and then locate 26. It's
So
greater
about
than
right
25.
here.
Yeah, it's just
So that's
right
gonna
after.
slide down to 30.
Oh.
So I'm gonna put a little check right there because that one does round to 30.
Okay.
Let's check 28 though. So here's our midpoint 25. We know 28's bigger. So it'll be somewhere here and it'll fall down to
30.
30. Oh, let's put a little check. That one's right.
Ooh, so far so good.
And then let's do 29. 29, oh, we know that is so close to 30 on this side. So that must mean that also rounds to 30.
Oh.
I'm gonna put a little
I'm
check
done.
there. Oh, no, because we could have made a mistake, Miss Athel.
Okay.
So let's finish this one really quick.
Okay.
And let's see if your answer was correct. So
Always check the last
23.
one. Okay, 23.
Up, that one's rounding down. That means that one's not right, Miss Athel.
Eliminated.
So which one is our answer?
C.
So Miss Athel, are these checks and X's an actual strategy as well?
Yes, they are.
Uh-huh.
That's what we would like to see.
Yes. So tonight in your IMBs, you guys are going to need to pause. I'm going to get a little closer look for you guys. Pause. And this is what you're going to do. You need to copy and label this number line. You notice that we've already done our benchmark numbers, or also known as our boundary numbers. And again, multiples are friendly numbers. You guys are going to need to finish doing the midpoints. Then we want you to put a star on the number line to show the number 575, and then tell us what it rounds to. So go ahead and
nearest-
pause,
I'm sorry.
and then go ahead. So we're going to do that to the nearest 100. And then our second one we want you to practice with is, just like we did, we want you to show those process of elimination, show us how your strategies, copy this number line and label the benchmark numbers, boundary numbers, and the midpoints. And then tell us which one does not round to the higher boundary number. So go ahead and pause, put this on your paper, make sure your title's on there and your table of contents, and we will see you guys tomorrow.